Three, four. Okay, hey guys. So I know I did a very brief review of a movie called The Harder They Fall from Netflix, but it was very brief. It was literally only like 3 minutes long because it was packed in with another review. So I hit up someone that I know previously from this channel, Desmona, and she's here with me today again. So thank you very much again, Desmona, for that. Um
Sure.
and so, but we, so yeah, so basically, what the purpose of this video is we are going to review The Harder They Fall, which is a great film. It's really entertaining. But before I continue, just wanna, yeah, what are your like initial thoughts on the movie?
I liked it. I'm actually gonna watch it twice.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go because sometimes when you watch something you miss things,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna watch it again. I liked it. I was waiting for it. And for some reason I forgot and I thought that it was gonna be in theaters until you actually reminded me and I was like, oh shit. It's
Mhm.
like I watched this shit. So literally I watched it when you told me
Mhm.
and I liked it. It kind of because I'm big on history, it's it get off a little bit on me because a lot of the characters that was not who they actually were in real life.
Mhm.
So I'm like, that's not what they were. But okay, let me not take myself out of actually just watching the film itself. I thought it was really good. I felt like the director was kind of trying to be like Quentin Tarantino, like
Mhm.
you know, like with the Django and like Hateful Eight and stuff like that. I was like, that kind of especially like with the gore and the effects of it. I was like, that kind of reminds me a little bit of that.
Mhm.
But I think it was really good. I think it was good. I enjoyed it.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good. Like when I reviewed it earlier, I reviewed it back to back with another review from, it was another movie that I saw this weekend. It was really bad though. So like watching
What was that?
it was called The Eternals. It was from Marvel Studios, and it's on theaters
I
right
didn't go
now.
see it.
Yeah,
No.
no, I would
Mm,
not recommend that at all. But no, I was gonna say, yeah, this movie definitely helped to wash out all the bad taste from that movie.
mm,
And like my initial thoughts were that it's a really fun movie.
yeah.
It's got a great cast, like a really good
Yeah.
cast. Um, and I think honestly, honestly, like I don't know about you, but like for me, like my favorite genre is not Western. Like I actually don't watch Western
Yeah.
usually. But but like everyone kept talking about this movie, and I watched the previews.
Mm,
It was like great, and then the cast was great. So it's like, all right, I have
yeah.
to sit down. I have to sit down and watch this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did. It was
Mm,
really well made. Just yeah, just a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know, like I can't think of that many negatives to really say about it.
yeah.
Um, but getting back to you, like you said that you're sort of like a big history buff, right? So like, what are, just right off the bat, what were a couple of things that sort of stood out to you that were kind of, changed
Most
the
of
movie?
them, most of the people when there weren't outlaws. Like if you look up Nat Love, he's not really an outlaw. Like they were cowboys. So when they all came from like being in slavery or Civil War, etc., and then they became cowboys. So like I mean, don't get me wrong, we do have cowboys. Like if you know your history, you do know that the Lone Ranger was actually based off of a black cowboy. They just, of course, whitewashed him for purposes of the movie and changed him into another character. But like we do, of course, have cowboys, etc., that were of color, but that, like not like Mary, Stagecoach Mary wasn't an outlaw. She was actually known because she was one of the only ones back in the era when they used to run the mail through Stagecoach that she would be able to protect her cargo from being taken by outlaws. So she was known not to be basically fucked with, just like to be honest. And when you go from there, first of all, Stagecoach Mary was big. This little beautiful, little slender woman that they chose, I'm like, she's nowhere near what Stagecoach Mary. Okay, but that's fine too. A couple of them, like I said, what was it? Was it Jay Bucksworth? Jim Bucksworth. Like now he was part of a group. The one that got shot talking too long. And like I was like, oh, he's doing all his hand tricks. It's not gonna end well for him. But he was, and then it was another one that they named that was not. So like it's a couple of different ones that's they were cowboys and they, they made history doing different things, but they were not outlaws. So it's kind of, it's a great, movie, of course, to learn history ish or give you, I guess, like a initiative to want to learn. Because like I said, I'm not big on cowboy movies either. I think the last one I watched was like Magnificent Seven with Denzel Washington, and probably like Hateful Eight. That really wasn't cowboy. That was like bounty hunters. And then I Posse. If you ever go back, I think Posse is like in the 90s with like Mario Van Peebles in it. And that was like the first, I think, one where you got to see like an all black cast of cowboys and to act. Because even with Denzel, his wasn't all black. But kind of learn. But I mean, I guess it gives you like an initiative to like actually you made it interesting. Now let me look and see who these people are. Because they were majority of them were based off of actual people. The stories were tweaked, of course, for entertainment purposes. But like I said, I mean, I guess it's good. I enjoy it. Like I said, that probably the only thing that if you didn't know, you would send someone off thinking that, oh, I watched, a movie with Nat Love and he was an outlaw and he was like this greatest person. You're like, no, he wasn't. And he actually ended up dying, I think, in the 60s or so in Los Angeles, California. And he was working the railroads, like a conductor or something. I'm like, you can't be an outlaw and all of a sudden decide you want to work the conductors or work in the railroad and nobody catch you. So it goes, like into telling a story that really wasn't his. But I mean, like I said, it puts light on him and makes it be like, what, I want maybe more. And that's interesting and that's cool about it. Get up a gateway for you to learn more than just, the movie will show you. Because of course you're never gonna learn this in school. You're only gonna learn what they want you to learn. So
Right. Yeah.
that's probably the only negative. Other than that, I love the action in it. I love the plot twist. I won't say nothing else. Love the plot twist. And I was just worried at first with all the actors. Sometimes you get people that put too many good people in one movie, and you're like, this is gonna be a shit show. Like God forbid, Coming to America 2.
Yeah.
I was so scared to watch it, and I'm so glad I didn't. Because I was like, I don't want you to ruin my childhood. Because Coming to America 1 was like amazing, and everyone was saying it was so horrible.
Yeah.
But when you look at so many comedians packed into one, so many actors, and everyone, almost like trying to outshine each other, I only expected it to be like that. So I was worried, but I'm so glad to have seen it.
Well, I'm gonna interject and just say like my piece on Coming to America. I'll just say this one thing: it's trash. I hope no one has seen it. I feel bad because I was curious. I wanted to see it, of course, and then all the reviews
Yeah,
were literally negative, and I was like, oh, there's something
yeah,
wrong with this movie, and
yeah,
I was like, they kind of piqued my interest more. I was like, wait, this movie can't be
yeah.
that bad, and
Right,
then
right. It's not that horrible.
oh my god, it's horrible. But no, but yeah, but
Yeah,
no, but sort of yeah. Getting back to this movie, it's kind of interesting that you point out, especially about what's her name, Stagecoach Mary. I was
yeah.
reading. I'm kind of late to the party, but I was reading a lot. I've been hearing a lot about this. Not only about the historical inaccuracies and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but also sort of kind of more controversial. I guess one of the controversies surrounding her casting is that the actress
Mhm.
playing her is very light skinned, and there was initially a lot of backlash because
I
they
don't want to say this so rudely,
Mhm.
but Stagecoach Mary was ugly, and she. That's something I don't want to be rude, but she was ugly. She was like a big burly type of woman, like like the kind that are like tall and big, like that you'll be like that most men would be like, she'll beat the shit out of me.
Mhm.
She's like that. She was that type, and she was not attractive, and she was dark skinned. So like this petite little like the woman's. I mean, like I said, she's pretty, very pretty. She's light skinned. She, she's very petite. She's small and kind of dainty-ish. So it's like that's not really who she was when you're portraying her. And of course, with the climate, God forbid, you might have only picked her because she was a good actress, not the fact that she was light skinned. But you know, with the climate nowadays, no matter what you pick, somebody gonna turn it to something racial. You know, it
Right.
just could be that the person thought that she was a great actress or they wanted her fan base. Because a lot of times when you're doing a movie or you're in production, you may not pick someone who looks like the character exactly or better
Mhm.
facial wise. You will pick because of their fan base and how many people you know will just run to go watch their work
Yeah.
versus the accuracy in the facial look.
Mhm.
And people don't understand that either. Like, you know, that's why you see like Kim Kardashian sometimes casting shit, and you're like, she can't act worth a damn. But it's because of how many women do you know that are like her fans, millions, that will literally go to watch her say 2, 3 words, and you're like, she can't act worth shit, you know. But it's like I said, it's what comes behind her that people are gonna go see it. It's just like with Denzel Washington or Will Smith or anybody else like that. Those certain names, Brad Pitt, you know, Keanu Reeves, all of them, when certain ones pop up, it doesn't matter because they're gonna run to go see it. So people put sometimes those people in there just because of that instance.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, absolutely, and I completely agree. With what you're saying. I mean, the actress playing her. Yeah. I mean, she's not a bad actress, but it's like when I saw the real picture of the
Yeah,
person, I'm like, whoa, like
right,
they did a bad job
right.
in terms of that. But that kind of reminds me of I sort of going off track here a little
Absolutely.
bit, but I don't know if you remember the controversy happened like 5 or so years ago with Zoe Saldana. I think it was Zoe Saldana, and she was playing Nina Simone, and I think the controversy
Zoe
was,
Saldana.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was actress, and I think what made it worse was that they said that Zoe Saldana was actually like darkening her skin or something like that, or using a makeup to
So
kind of
yeah,
make herself look darker.
Zoe's like my complexion.
Mm,
And um Nina Simone is like Viola Davis complexion.
mm, mm,
So that's a big gap
yeah,
between complexions. You know, we're like shades darker from one another.
mhm.
So when they did Nina Simone, which Zoe looked like she had went to the wrong mortician at the morgue. Like you can't really, you know, you can't really like what else the word I want to say? You can't cast somebody who's light and then darken their skin up, just like you can't reverse it either
Mhm,
without it looking like dead. Like she looked
mhm,
like she was dead and maybe she had been in the water and lost all her complexion
mhm,
and was gray. And they're like, you know what, let me figure out what you used to look like. I'm gonna mix something up together for you and figure it out. She looked like she was casket ready.
mhm,
And that was also, you know, disrespectful to the memory of Nina Simone. I get why they're saying because it's nearly hell. Get Viola Davis. She could have done it. You know, anybody of that complexion could have been closer to Tamika Sumter. You know, Tika Sumter. Have you
mhm.
ever Tika? Do you remember Tika Sumter?
Yeah,
She's
no.
closest to the complexion to do it. So think of Zoe Saldana and Tika Sumter and how different in the complexions. You'd
Mhm.
have been better off using Tika,
Yeah.
but
Well,
they're going against relevancy and who in the dark complexion is relevant and not overwashed
mhm,
or not cast in one way, and they just kind of they missed a mark there because you can't feel a movie if you look at somebody and you're like, I don't even fucking see the person that you're talking about. Like, what are you talking about?
yeah.
You know, you put someone in, you know, it's like someone saying that they're you. It's like me saying I'm you, and you're like, what? She doesn't look like she's any of Asian descent or not. What the hell? Like, you know,
Yeah.
you just threw it.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, as far as like, like quote unquote, what they call it, colorism in Hollywood, it's,
Mm-hmm.
it's always gonna be there. You know what I mean? People
Yep.
are always gonna point it out. It's always gonna be a factor,
Yep.
somehow. But getting back to like the more positives, or just positive, quote unquote, the rest of this film, I have to say that this is probably in my top five so far of the year.
Is it?
And yeah, I honestly, this is like my first time ever saying that, like putting a western in like my top five of the year.
Yeah.
But like you said, like the last one that I saw, yeah, was the same one with Denzel, and that
Yeah.
was a fun movie, but that's not, but that was like a popcorn flick, you know what I mean? Like that was like a very,
Yeah.
first it was a remake, you know what I mean? So it was looser, it's more fun. This one, I feel like it has more, serious themes to it. I just think
Mhm.
in general it's really well made, and it kind of,
I
yeah.
did.
Hmm.
No, I did absolutely agree with you. I do.
Hmm. Yeah. And I thought, that like what, like again, like the casting. Going back to the casting, I want to talk about the casting. The casting was like phenomenal. Like you
Yeah.
said, like this is an all-star cast, and it's like that. If
Yeah.
nothing else, even if you hate westerns, you can't deny, like, if you see the trailer, you're gonna want to see it because of the cast alone.
Hmm.
You have Regina King, you have Idris Elba,
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors, that kid from the Power Rangers movie, I forget his name. You have what's his name? He was in
I
Judas and
can't
the Black
forget the other
Messiah.
guy that was on. Remember he was X-Men too.
Yes, yeah.
That
Mhm.
one, I was like, hey, he's an X-Men.
Yes,
And I always love his attitude. Then you
exactly.
had the one guy, I can't remember his name, but he was just on Black Judas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Richard
Um,
Stanfield.
yeah. Then you had the one from Lovecraft Country,
Mm-hmm.
County,
Mm-hmm.
Country, Lovecraft, whatever. But I just wish they wouldn't zoom in on his lips. I swear to God, like I felt like they were like in my room. I was like, Jesus, could this man look get any bigger? Oh
Well,
my
I mean,
God, like
well, yeah. I mean, that's definitely one thing about the westerns. They always do the close-ups. You know what I mean? They always do the zoom-ins,
yeah. I'm
and
like, I
yeah.
gotta back myself, right?
And that guy.
But yeah, they had all star costume. Go ahead, go
Yeah.
ahead,
Oh no, no, I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
no. No, I was gonna say,
Oh,
yeah.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, yeah, I just like in the westerns, like that's one thing I noticed too. It's like, they have certain tropes, right? Like they have, of course, like the gunfights, and they have, like people basically talking shit to each other, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the whole time, and it's just like, hey, I'm tougher than you, I'm faster than you. And then,
Yeah.
but then there's also like a couple of things. And okay, first of all, I do want to say the prefaces that we can talk spoilers because it's a spoiler review, so quote unquote, but I will give a fair warning to everyone watching this review. If you have not seen this movie and you don't want to get spoiled,
Right.
then turn away. Because we're gonna start talking about spoilers. But I will say this really quickly.
Yes.
That this movie, it actually subverts certain expectations that I had about this movie going in, because like I said, it is a western. So I was expecting certain things to
Mm-hmm.
happen, but the one thing that caught me off guard, the biggest, I know there's a twist at the end, but the twist before then was when you had the fight between what's his name, Cherokee Bill, and then the kid who was talking mad shit or whatever.
Oh my God, I was
So,
so mad. That made me so mad. He
yeah.
took 40 minutes though. I said, see, you talk too long. I felt like Cherokee though. I did. I was like, you talk too much.
Hmm.
Oh my God. I felt just like, and see, speaking back on that, when they attack on colorism,
Hmm.
some of the males didn't look like they were supposed to either. Because if I'm not mistaken, I believe Cherokee Bill was Black and Native American.
Oh, that's right.
But if
That's
you
right.
look at his pictures, he's lighter and he has like the more straighter texture of hair.
Mm.
And it's another one that was a little bit lighter complexion too.
Hmm.
I can't remember. And they didn't, but no one says anything about that all the time. It's like you do know that really wasn't what, you know what I mean? But back on that, like I said, colorism, and sorry to say it bluntly, colorism and racism is a train that's never late. It's not going anywhere. It's just going, it's in a loop, and it's always going to come into play, because as much as people, want to say, oh, don't be racist, don't be this, everyone can say that they said something racist or done something that falls into the category of that. It's a human nature. You may see someone and just like piss you off. You say something that you think is hurtful because that's what you want to do because they made you upset or hurt you. So, that's always going to be a thing. But no one brought that up. But they talked about Stagecoach Mary, but a lot of the guys didn't look like they were supposed to either.
Mm.
And I'm like, you're one side. If you're gonna just, do everybody, it's everybody.
Hmm.
Jim didn't look like he was supposed to either. The one that got shot in the face, he didn't either.
Mm.
But back to that, I loved his character. Remember, he almost thought that Kofi, he thought he was liking a guy and
Yeah.
realized Kofi was a girl. He's like, everybody thought it. Then they were like, no one did. I was like, oh my god. But I loved his character. It was so funny. And but I knew, I don't know if you did, I just knew he was gonna die. I said he's gonna die. I said he's gonna die. He just do too much. Something gonna happen.
You know, it's
I
kind of
just knew
funny.
it. Huh?
Oh no, it's kind of funny you mention that because I think I'm the only person who watched this movie who
Yeah.
thought he was actually gonna make it out alive. I just no, it's because
You
like
did?
because well, number one, like they were building up the whole time to like him and like this big gunfight or whatever, right? And like you think that it's a western,
Mm-hmm.
so you think that traditionally, okay, they're gonna draw their
Yeah.
guns and someone's gonna die, but
Mhm.
but like after
Yeah.
you watch it, and then again, spoiler alert, guys, we're talking about spoilers, so you don't want spoilers and go away. But like but Cherokee Bill, he kills this kid, and then not only that, he kills the other guy, the sharpshooter, and kills him too. But here's the thing, though, right? Oh shoot, sorry, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Apparently we lost for
No,
like a
we're back.
second.
We're back.
Okay, I'm back.
But yeah, so like I was saying, like
You didn't want us to spoil it, apparently.
no, actually not. But yeah, so Cherokee Bill ends up killing this kid, and it's not because like he's a faster like shooter or whatever. It's because he cheats. He literally
Yeah.
cheats, and then he literally shoots the
He
other
was
guy in
like,
the back. You know what I mean?
yeah, he was like, he counts too slow. And then he shot. I was like, no. But see, I at first I actually kind of was torn because I getting it was more like he was like, he's getting what I want. There's gonna be no issues. If you don't, then we're gonna have a problem. I was like, okay, I kind of roll with him.
Mm-hmm.
When he did that, when he did those two things, I was like, no, but you know what's funny? I knew he was gonna die. And I can't be the only one that thought that. Because remember the old guy, is his name Leroy?
Yeah,
His real
Delroy
name, the one.
Lindo.
Oh God, is white people ask, why can black people say the N-words and we can't? And Dora was like, you can say it. I'll say it with you. And the we gotta find the video. Random off topic. It's the funny things. I've always liked his whole kind of how he acts anyways. Always loved it. But he told him when they were sitting there, he was like, what you thinking? He's doing, remember he doing all the gun tricks? He said, I think you're gonna die. And just left. I was like, damn, that was rude. And literally he said that, but he said it, remember, only to him. He's like, you think what you think? He said, I think I'm gonna die. And I was like, oh. And so remember he stopped, he kind of looked, and so then remember he jumped on with Kofi, and he tells her what he's the fastest because he's tired of hearing people about how fast Cherokee is, etc. etc. And so he tells him, she tells him, well, I've known somebody who's faster than him. And he's like, who? And she's like, me. I see him in the mirror every day. And then no, remember everybody starts laughing, thinking that because remember she didn't have a gun. 90% of the time, she had those brass knuckles and she would just beat people up. So they didn't know what really she could do. And she ended up being faster, remember, than Cherokee. But then at the end, she said Jimmy was faster than him. But it was like, it was just a saddest thing at the end, too. Like, when everybody kind of like, all the characters that you like, they got picked off. You're like, oh, I like the camaraderie and the combativeness of Jimmy and the other one. I can't remember his name. What was it? Something Love, I think it was. Or Pickett? Was it Pickett? The one from X-Men.
I don't remember his name. I don't remember his
Okay.
name.
But the one from X-Men, I loved him and the guys, camaraderie when they be arguing and stuff. When they remember they robbed the group, they're arguing back and forth and stuff and laughing. I was like, okay, I love that. But I knew he was gonna die. I just knew it. I already knew.
Well, I mean, yeah, like I said, I think because I watched other reviews of this movie too, and like everyone says, yeah, I knew he was gonna die. I'm like, really? Wow. Like, but like it's like, but no, like going back again, like it definitely it does make sense, like how he died. Like, there were two reasons. Number
He
one,
talked too much.
yeah, no, he talked too much. Yeah, he talked way too much shit. He was too cocky, too arrogant. But also because like Keith Stanfield's character was a cheater. He was that. Like,
Yes.
I think he also says, right, it's not about like Quick as Straw or something like that. It's about, you know, like who lives and who dies or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's not
Um,
about who's the fastest, it's about who's alive.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
so
that's what he
he,
said. It's not about who's the fastest, it's about who's alive. And
yeah,
then he remember he walked up like, I'm going to have a drink. He was like, you know how long I practiced this stand up?
yeah,
But you knew then that he wasn't gonna do things fairly because he was irritated by him. Like he just wanted him gone. He's like, you're a nuisance. Go away. You know, this is adults over here, you know?
mm-hmm.
But did you see Damon Wayans son in there?
Yes, I did. I didn't know that was
Yes.
him. I was like, is that
Yeah.
him? That's not really him. But
Yep.
no, yeah, like listen, everybody watching this right now too, like this is a really all-star cast. Like you don't get movies like this a whole lot of the time where you
Yeah.
have an all-star cast in a movie that's this good. Like it is really that good. Like believe the hype, it's a
Yes.
great movie. But I also want to bring up Regina King. Like right? Regina King. Like wow. Like when I heard she was in
Trudy.
this movie, exactly. When I heard she was in this movie, I thought she'd be a good guy, right? I thought she'd be like a like
Oh.
yeah, like on the good guy side. She was
Mhm.
actually she's a villain in this movie, and she does a
If you
really good job.
actually watch Regina King's attitude, she wouldn't have been able to be a good person.
Mm.
That sounds terrible. But she has a like she like I've met her a few times on set working
Mm.
and stuff, but we weren't together on the same set. We were just in studios,
Mm.
and we just met her a couple of times, and it's like she's nice, but it's something that you're like, I don't know if it's genuine,
Mhm.
if it's really like what she is. She's just nice because that's where she is in her career.
Mhm.
But like the attitude that she has, like when she was in Friday, remember the sister in Friday? She was his
Mhm.
sister in First Friday. Remember that attitude she always kind of had. Um, when she was a little girl in 227, she had a little bit of attitude, like that little like they just are, like okay, like mean girl ish, like what people say, like you're nice, nasty, like you're saying you're not you're saying it nicely, but it has an undertone of not being pleasant.
Mhm.
It's like she has that about herself, in all her movies. Even when she tries to play like the good cop, like she has a series somewhere where she's like a detective or something. And it's like watching her, you're like, you're just one step away from actually being the crooked cop. Like I could see you being better the crooked cop than the good person. Kind of like Gabrielle Union always plays like the bitch of everything. She just has that face of it, and you're like, I don't really could see you as anything else because you play snotty and it really portrays through on your face.
Mhm.
She has that. So I never would have thought that she would have ever been in any of the good people role or anything else. Because just you see, she wasn't trying. She wasn't trying,
Mm.
like when she was acting in this movie, if you see like people try to portray to be mean, you can see it on their face. They're trying to scrunch their face up more. They're trying to give you more attitude, and sometimes it plays out as excessive.
Mhm.
Hers is just natural, like she's just talking and it's just there.
Mhm.
Go back and watch it. Just watch. It's like it's effortless for her to be that type of attitude, and then find another movie where was it what was it she was on I think was it with Will Smith on something. She plays a mom on something else, and when she's trying to be like real sensitive and real soft, like
Mhm.
it doesn't portray on her face. She looks like scrunching her face up more, overdoing the expression. So
Mhm.
it's like she has that. So like I never thought she was gonna be a good person. Like I was like, no, she's gonna be definitely one of the outlaws, like for sure. But like if you were betrayed to be the good guy, it's a little weird. You have that face that gives you bad guy.
Mhm.
And so I did in it all, but she did really good. And what I like? The majority of them have backstories, as to how they became who they were or where they were or what happened. I like that.
Mm. And getting to backstories, I want to kind of jump to the ending because like everyone's talking about the ending. I'm just gonna give a hot take right now, in my personal opinion. I fucking hate that ending.
Why?
Because I wanted a big gunfight. Like, here's the thing, right? Like, there is okay. Like in the third act of this movie, when they face off or whatever in that town, there is a big gunfight. There's explosions. People get shot,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Hmm.
But like, I wanted a main gunfight between Idris Elba and Jonathan Majors, because the whole
Yes.
movie they're building up to it. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole thing, and like Idris Elba.
Not really. They weren't. Because
Yeah.
if you pay attention, because if you look at it, he didn't do shit but beat up that one guy that was his
No.
friend that he felt betrayed on.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he sent everybody else to do his work.
Yep.
He only beats up that one guy
Mm-hmm.
who he felt betrayed him, other than when he shot everybody in the beginning.
Exactly.
And that was again a personal. So if you notice, he didn't harm other people.
Mm-hmm.
He sent them to do it, like randoms. The
Mm-hmm.
ones he actually attacked were ones he had issues with.
Mm-hmm.
So like the first killing was he was jealous of the. I didn't know why he killed the mom, but whatever. He killed the mom, but he was mad at the father. Remember when he tells the backstory of the father,
Mm-hmm.
how he was really upset about that.
Mm-hmm.
So he does that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was because it was emotionally to him. And then remember when he got caught, it ended up being his one best friend
Mm-hmm.
that he ended up killing later. But remember, he didn't even want to kill him. Remember, he just beat him and told him to leave.
Yeah.
The friend came back, and then that's how he ended up getting killed.
Yeah.
But everybody who died among like along the way, all was by his crew.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really even think that he really wanted to kill the brother or was going to like get to that point. I think he really wanted the money for his little town that he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was going to probably try to tell the brother that story prior to that. But I think he really had banked on his crew would basically kill everybody. And then it would just be the brother left. And he could then kind of tell him the story and then hope for the best or hope that they could go separate ways without anything else additional. I think that that's what he originally planned. Because remember, when everybody died, he just sat there and he didn't even fight.
Exactly.
He was already defeated. He was like, well, whatever. Versus if you ever watch any other cowboy movies like Magnificent Seven or Hateful Eight, or Hateful Eight was not really a cowboy, but just you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and like Posse, they fight to the end. Like
Yes.
everybody could be dead and they're still trying to go at it. He literally was sitting there with his back turned. And you know what? I was watching it with my mom. My mom was like, no, he didn't kill himself. I know he didn't kill himself. I said, Mom, he's not dead. I said, see, I think he's drinking or something. He's sitting there. She
Mm-hmm.
said, no, look, he's dead. He ain't moving. And then he finally moved. She was like, oh, I thought he had killed himself. I was about to be mad. I said, no, he didn't kill himself. But like he was defeated.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just, like I said, if you pay attention to certain little things, he didn't really do any dirt to anybody. He tried to avoid it.
Yeah.
Like I said, he beat the friend up for betraying him, but he let him go.
Mm-hmm.
So, like that, but everybody else was ready to kill, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like everybody, he was like, even like, the people who were on the train, who could drive a train. And remember, he only killed the people in the back of the train. They didn't shoot up everybody. They
Exactly.
killed the ones in the back, and then they let the guy who could drive the train take the train,
Mm-hmm.
and they took the people on off. So, like I said, the most lethal were the ones that was in his crew.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I feel like like the probably the scariest. That's probably not the correct word. The most intimidating one. I feel like Regina King like was probably the most like villainous one in this movie. Like she did the most killing. She was. I mean, like she. Remember at the end, right when
Did
she
she?
fights. Yeah. Well, like okay. So you remember like her final fight, right? Like when she has like kind of like that little blade weapon or whatever. Like that
On the
part was like
chain? Yeah.
yeah, that was cool. Like I wish he would have done more with that, but yeah, no, I definitely see what you're saying. I agree with Idris Elba character. That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say exactly. It was like he either didn't do what I thought he would do, or he didn't
Yeah.
do enough. You know what I mean? And I mean that's the thing about westerns. It's
I
like,
actually liked the ending.
mm-hmm,
I thought the ending that he wasn't gonna kill him. Because then he was crying about it. Because he didn't know, because I mean sure it did. I don't know how I would feel if I find out the reason you killed them was because he did all these horrible things to you.
mm-hmm,
Then I'd be like, all right, I killed all your people. You killed my mom, which you should have killed her, but they killed all your people. Shoot you in the leg, we call it even. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, finding the backstory that the reason you're this way and the reason you did what you did was because of your, basically, our father killed your mother and beat you and mistreated you, and then decided to turn on the leaf. Because remember, the guy who was with him with the scorpion on his hand, he had turned a new leaf and become a guy in church, but you didn't mind killing the shit out of him either. So, you gotta understand that why your brother didn't have any forgiveness for your father for what he did and took all your stuff, left them without anything, you know what I mean? So it's like, I thought he wasn't gonna, that's who I thought he wasn't gonna kill. I thought he was gonna be real heartbroken and they was gonna just go their own ways, but I wasn't really sure about that one. So that was the one thing I really wasn't sure about. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think what you're thinking of old school westerns where they gotta like showdown all the way to death, and that's why you're like, hell no, everyone's gotta die. Everyone's got to go. At least to one person or two people are left hobbling off. Like, you're thinking of the good, the bad, and the ugly with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all.
No, it's not, and there is more like drama. There's a little bit more story to this western. I don't care. I mean, like I like the movie. I think it's a great movie. I think it's like probably maybe so far the best movie of the year that I've seen so far. But I will always say that I think the ending should have had a bigger fight between them. But that's just me. That's my personal preference. It did for me. It didn't ruin the movie. It didn't make it worse. It was just I was just disappointed. That's all. I was just disappointed. But I will say this.
Well,
Just
think of it like this. Do you remember go ahead. What you say?
oh no, I'm sorry. No. I was gonna say really quickly. The town, like also the set design and the attention to detail is fucking
Yeah.
amazing. Like like the colors just pop, like the shots,
Yeah.
like the close-ups, like the whole set design, production design,
Yeah.
like amazing. Like you can see the money on the
Yeah.
screen. So yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But when you have those type of casts, your budget is already in a large range. It's a few mil. Because I've seen movies done with $3 million, and it's just been it's in that type of range, but it's not authentic Western then, because it didn't have all that vibrant stuff. Although I enjoyed it. We enjoyed the coloring and the everything, like some of the vibrant colors and stuff was not there during the Western time. It just wasn't that type of color. I mean, they did dye their stuff, but some of the pinks and the greens and stuff that they had was never that in that range. A lot of things too that they missed like out on that I was like, what I did like though? The transition when they went to the white town and everything was white in there. I said, why is everything so white in here? Like everything was automatic, like super white. But that whole interaction was hilarious too. She couldn't get that gun out of her dress. She was like struggling to get through the dress. It was hilarious. But it was I did enjoy it. But you gotta remember, a lot of the newer westerns don't end that way, because like if you remember Magnificent Seven, although again it's not all black, remember the ending. It ended like that. It wasn't really a straight showdown, not fully. They kind of just blew up everything, figured out how to kill everybody, stopped them from invading, etc. But it was never really like a full to the death, everybody gone but one person type of thing. So like they don't really do that anymore. I think it's because you start liking so many characters. You're like, characters die, whatever the case may be. And I honestly thought that the showdown between Cherokee Bill and the other kids would have happened later on, not in the beginning of the gunfight. I did think that it was going to happen later on, like, while they were shooting, maybe they get caught up together, kind of like how him and Kofi had the showdown. I thought that they would run into each other on accident and then stop and have that show now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like the first thing off the top, and I was like, Jesus, you know. And I was so sad. I was like, no, not my friends. I felt like we were friends. I don't know.
I just want to say like what like the character like I keep overlooking this character, but I think this character might like maybe my favorite character. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of them are really good, but like Cuffy is great. Like
Coffee. Yeah.
Cuffy is great because okay, here's the thing. I feel stupid, but like when the movie first starts, and obviously spoiler alert, everyone watching, Cuffy is female. She's a girl. She's a woman. She's not a guy. But through like
You didn't know that?
okay, here's the thing. For the first like hour or so, hour and a half, because it is kind of a longer film. For the first hour or
Yeah.
so, she dresses like a guy. You know what I mean? And I think for me,
Mm-hmm.
there were hints like the way like she looks, her face, her eyes. It was just the way that she moved.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of very. There's a little bit more feminine to it. So I was like, is that a woman? And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. And then sure enough, right before they go to that town or whatever, it's
Rob the
revealed
bag.
it's a woman,
Yeah.
and she is the one.
It was
Yeah.
apparent. Like for me, I knew it was. Like as soon as I looked, I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's a little girl. Not a little girl. That's a woman dressed as not a little girl. That's a woman dressed as a man. You know, but she was more realistic on what women who were like outlaws or worked in bars or whatever, like the cowgirls.
Mm-hmm.
They look like that. When they had Judy and long dress, they not wearing that dress. You know, if like Stagecoach Mary wore one, but it was also part of the uniform. You know, so you'll see her in the top and the long. It's part of the uniform though. Like if this is what you're gonna do for a living, and you're wearing, you know, you're out of this. You're not wearing a dress. You're not wearing a dress with a petticoat and all that shit like that. And nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
So if you notice, even with Regina, she had to hold the train of the dress up sometimes. Like if you shooting around here, you ain't got time to hold that damn dress up.
Yeah.
Nobody has time for that.
Yeah.
They didn't really wear that, you know. So I was like, that was like unreal, you know, a little bit. I'm like, nobody got time for that. Like that's like me hopping in a boxing ring in a tutu. I don't have time for that shit. Like, but I did. I liked it. I really liked it. Kofi was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Remember she jumped in the air like shot the two people that had Mary?
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious. I was like, uh-oh, you gotta woke her up.
Mm-hmm.
She was a joke. She was absolutely a joke, and I liked it.
Did you just a couple more questions? Did you feel like obviously I'm not familiar at all with any
Mhm.
of these actual real life characters of people, but like did you feel like at all like what's her name, Stagecoach Mary was kind of like the typical like female, right? Like in these movies, like she needs to be rescued or whatever. You know what I mean? Like at the end, because that's basically the whole reason that they go to that town ultimately is to like get her.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Well, they were gonna go anywhere, remember? But
Oh
they
yeah,
had to
yeah.
go early
Mm-hmm.
because she got caught. Remember, they were
Yep.
planning to go,
Mhm. Yeah.
but they were trying to think of a plan and how to go and how to do this.
Mhm.
She fucked it up. That's what happened. You know what? Light skinned people. No, I'm like, but literally, like, I think Stagecoach Mary was a disappointment.
Mhm.
Probably the real Stagecoach Mary is probably cursing. She's probably
Mm.
like in her grave cursing somewhere because she was portrayed as tough, not fake tough though. Because
Mhm.
remember, and I gotta say it, Mary got her ass handed to her for the longest by Trudy.
Yeah, she did.
Mary, Mary was getting beat up bad. She bit her. You bite people when you losing or when you're scared. Your first thought is not biting. When you think about any fights that you know somebody got bit, they're being overpowered, and their last step is like, well, let me at least bite.
Mhm.
So she bit. Remember, she bit her. And
Mhm.
the I said, you ain't even. But remember that you knocked him out. You knocked Nat out when he first came in.
Mhm.
Remember, she knocked him out. As soon as he came in, remember they were kissing, and she knocked him on his ass, and like literally on his ass.
Mhm.
I said, but you get in here with Trudy, and y'all about right the same way. So, Trudy beat the shit out y'all.
Mhm.
I was like, the fuck? I was like, Trudy kicked your ass. And if Trudy, I believe that Trudy just was tired. That's how you want to fight. Trudy got tired. I was like, she's wearing you out. And it just blew me that I'm like, you're overplaying. Like, she was cocky and a little bit obnoxious
Mhm.
because you felt, oh, I could go into town and do this. So you were stupid. You were stupid. Because I would have thought, let me go trot my ass in when they knew previously I had been running with you.
Mhm.
So no matter if I'm out the gang or not, they know previously I've been running with you, and apparently everybody knew that you guys are in a relationship
Mhm.
or messing around or something. That was new. So I'm like, whether it was old or new, they knew. And just like Trudy was like, oh, Stagecoach Mary, like she knew of you already. So your word about who you were was already there.
Mhm.
So you mean to tell me you thought that you could trot in and you was gonna be okay?
Mhm.
Like, the damsel in distress thing for the type of person that Stagecoach Mary was
Mhm.
disrespectful.
Mhm.
Like, I'm like, it's like that's like if I'm Mike Tyson and then you betray me and I'm getting beat up every every time you turn around. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not who I am.
Mhm.
So I think that part was like a little bit much. But I did like how
Shit. Oh. Oh, it's back.
time I just what it does. But it hates me.
It's all good. It's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay. So the nice thing, I don't know. I've never heard of anything like that as Western wise, but it is something that was done in like the 80s and the 90s
Mhm.
by the gangs. They games them, and that's how they were like that. Like when I come to the US and I was in Chicago, the
Mhm.
girls would take locks like that you put like the big heavy locks, the silver ones,
Mhm.
and they would put chains around them. And when they would fight, they would swing the locks like that. I
Mhm.
said, hey, I've seen that before.
Mhm.
But I was like, I wonder if that's something that someone.
God damn it again. So fuck. Hang on.
Become creepy.
Hang on. Let me
But
hang on. Wait, are you here? Can you? Your camera's off. Hang on.
yeah,
Um,
I can't see you, but I can hear.
hang on. Let me. Okay. Let me. Okay. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna try to move to a better reception. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on, guys. Hang on. Hang on. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Just give me a sec. Just hang tight, guys. Hang on.
No problem.
Just a sec. Hang on.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. A lot better now.
Where the
So,
hell did you go?
oh, sorry. No, yeah, I just I had to because of my current situation. I had to. This is the only place I can get Wi-Fi. Um, but okay,
Okay.
so cool. So yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
I think you were. Yeah, I forget what you were
I don't
saying too.
remember.
I forget, but
I was just
no,
rambling. I
I
really
thought.
feel like this movie was something that we should have watched in person because it was
Mm-hmm.
that good. Like you'd be like, you
Oh
would
yeah,
watch it and stop and like have a conversation. And it was 2 hours long, but it didn't feel like it. Like I
no.
was like, wow, it's like 2 hours. Okay. But it was worth it. It was fast. It was no
Mm-hmm.
slow parts. And it just went right into action. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally 10 minutes in, people are dying already. Like like he didn't even get the Lord's prayer out good for the food before they was dying. I was like, Jesus. I said he tried to pray for the meal already, and they're dead already.
No, but yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think the pacing was really good. Yeah, like I said before, I don't think there's a whole lot of negatives. I don't have a whole lot of complaints about this movie, other than the ending. I know that yourself that you enjoyed it, and a lot of people apparently enjoyed that. I didn't. I just like I said, even though I'm not the biggest fan of westerns, that's something that I expect, but I understand why they did it. Like I understand why they did it. And he does, spoiler alert again, but he does technically die. He does kill him at the end. He does shoot him.
Yeah.
He shoots him a lot actually, or like several times. But he doesn't really fight back. He doesn't really try to fight back or anything like
No.
that. So it is more
Like I
sad.
said, he was just defeated. He was just
Mhm.
defeated. I think that's why he didn't even fight back. But spoiler, you see at the end, Trudy was still standing. Did you notice? So is that a part two? I don't know what the fuck they would do with part two though.
Yeah,
They
I
do
kind
a
of don't.
figure.
Yeah, I kind of don't
Because what would
want
be part two?
to. um,
I don't think it can, but why would Trudy be alive?
I don't know. I
See,
mean,
Mary had one job. One
mhm,
job. Again, Mary had one job. They killed 76 people. You had to kill just one. And still you still messed that up. Shit, I skin. Everybody. I said it.
no, it's but no. So yeah, so grade wise, because that's sort of how I grade the movies on this channel. It's like I would give it an
Mhm.
A. I would give it an A. But like, what would you? What? Oh fuck, never mind. Just wait for her to come back. All right, guys, technical difficulties again. Desmond, are you there? Hang on.
Yes.
Sorry about this. Yeah, no, no, it's fine. We're almost done anyway, so it's cool. But yeah, so can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So like grade wise, what grade would you give it?
I give it an A at like probably at a 92%. I'm gonna
Hmm.
take away the main thing. I'm gonna take away she didn't do her job and to get rid of Trudy.
Hmm.
And
It's okay. We're still here. We're still here. We're just gonna wrap this up. Can you hear me?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Because Mary's whole persona like that, and then she didn't do Trudy. You had one job.
Yeah.
Trudy gets so that's my only two things. I love the ending, but funny with Ken and I love, I love
let me know when you're there. Can you hear me? Desdemona? Desdemona, can you hear me? Sorry. Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you now.
I think the connection is not.
Like, okay, I think
Oh, god damn it. Okay, guys, sorry guys, we were watching. Yeah, this is we're still recording. There's just technical difficulties, but we're just gonna wrap this interview up really quickly, and then yeah. So okay, Desmona, you there?
yes.
Yeah. So I think yeah, Desmona, I
Can you hear
think
me?
yeah, but the connection's really bad, so I think I'm gonna like actually wrap this up right now. But yeah, so yeah, no. Yeah, sorry. I think the connection's really bad. I'm not sure how long we have until it cuts out again. Um can't really hear you that well. Hang on.
Call. I'm yelling like that was gonna make a difference.
Wait, okay, you know, just wanna the connection is really bad. I'm not sure if it's gonna cut out again, so I'm just gonna wrap this up. Oh crap. Hang on. You know what? Just let me it up. Sections.
I can see you now. I couldn't see you before.
Oh, okay, great. Perfect.
You see me? I can see that.
Yeah, I can see you.
Messaging me.
No, that's cool. That's
Okay.
cool. But no, so yeah, I'm just gonna wrap this up really quickly. So grade wise, yeah, we both give it an A. And you know, like I said, I'm glad that you know that we both got to see it, that you got to see it. Because it is like I think everyone should see it. I think everyone should watch this movie. You know, I mean, it's
Absolutely.
just, yeah, it's just a really fun movie. I think it's a fun movie, and I think it's a well-made film. Um, and then but yeah, so
Yes.
yeah, so everyone watching, oh shoot, sorry, cut out again. Yeah, so everyone watching at home. So I'm gonna bring it back one last time, and then oh, okay. So here we go again. So Desmond, are you there?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so guys,
Yes.
so yeah, so sorry. So yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. But yeah, everyone watching, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. This has been the first time that I interviewed a movie like with someone else on this channel, so I appreciate it. Thank you to my guest. Thank you to Desmona. And Desmona, I'm still working on trying to find you a date for the blind Zoom date show. So um so
Okay.
stay tuned for that. Hang tight for that. I'm gonna find someone. And everyone
All
watching at
right.
home, yeah, everyone watching at home, you can go watch The Harder They Fall. It's on Netflix. If you subscribe to that, it's on Netflix right now. Go check it out. It's definitely worth your time. Don't watch The Eternals. Watch this movie instead. And so she cut out again. All right. Well, I guess okay. Okay, hang on. All right. So this is gonna be. Hang on. Wait, hang on, Desmond. I can't see you yet.
I can see you.
Okay. Well, yeah, so everyone, anyway, so yeah, this is gonna be it. But I appreciate it. I know, thank you everyone, and thank you, Desmona. I know there are some technical difficulties, so but we're still here, so I
No,
appreciate Desmona for you know, so sticking through it.
of
Um
course.
and I always love talking to you here. I always love it. And thank you again for all your help. I know you're a very busy person, so but there will be more with you in the future. And everyone also stay tuned for more content. There's more content coming. Subscribe, like, tell your friends to subscribe, all that stuff. Like this video, go watch the movie. And otherwise that, thank you to my guests and thank you to everybody. And then yeah, so see you guys later. So bye bye.